life better for us all. We decided we can connect the world's existing electrical grids to form a planetary energy internet. This global grid brings power to everyone on our planet and unites now remote sources of renewable energy into one planetary transmission system. But that is only where the real story begins. Enough solar energy hits any city in one day to power everyone's home for a year. With one side of our planet always facing the sun, the global grid provides us a permanent supply of abundant, clean energy for the economic liberation of everyone on our planet. It is clear we are one people on one planet. History is calling us to rise above artificial division and create a world community. Thus united, we are free to use our time and talents to create a planet of peace and prosperity for us all. We need not condemn ourselves to the horrors of the past. We now have the power to create a better future. Let us put our minds together and see what life we can create for our children. Is here of unbelievable wealth that extends beyond outside the planet. So if we can think about it, we can build it and we can make it. All right, now, so the idea, again, is that first is that intention. See, Wayne Dyer talks about intention, is that the idea is a go for broke attitude, as Bucky said. Now, the second one is education. All right, so that's where my movie and everything that we're talking about comes in. That's common sense too. And then the third one is the creation of a global society, and that is done economically, twined together by a project we're working on called the Global Grid Project. And it is actually the Global Grid Initiative. And it's the idea of interlinking all the world's electrical grids into one continuous system and extending it to the whole planet and essentially creating an energy internet. And that we can we use that global transmission system to capture all the present energy sources here that are now isolated and like that. Like you were talking about the one in California. See, it was isolated. That was the problem. All right, now if you can tie it into a continuous network with one side of the planet always facing the sun, well then you can have a permanent supply of abundant clean energy transmitted throughout the world that will end hunger, poverty, pollution, and eventually war. Now, what's really going to end war on the planet is the creation of a constitutional nation. See, what we're dealing with here is the upgrading.
A constitutional global nation.
Exactly. Is that the idea is that we're upgrading the political, social, and economic systems by which we run our reality. All right. Now, the idea is the present political, social, and economic theories we're using to run the planet are centuries old. Centuries old, if not, some of them are just really old. But like Adam Smith and capitalism goes back to the 18th century. See, the idea of the modern nation-state system started back in 1400. All right, that's that's why Columbus couldn't get his ships until 1492 because Ferdinand and Isabella hadn't solidified Spain as a nation. When they did that, well, then he had the resources, go sail off and stumble into the Americas. So what we're looking at here is that the information base we have now is so far superior to the information that these other systems, nationalism, sovereign nationalism, capitalism, communism, all these isms that we have, Darwinism, all these things that predate 1950, predate this Einsteinian-led revolution of information. All right, that these things are now obsolete and just basically are not true at all. What we have now is this new information base that opens up opportunities and possibilities that is like going to the moon.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it sounds wonderful, but it's kind of like there's been the League of Nations, there's the United Nations.
Right.
I mean, what I'm saying is it's theoretically it sounds.
I know, but see, those aren't global governments. See, I mean, anybody anybody can in the United Nations and the League of Nations could pick up and walk out anytime they wanted to. See, those things are confederations.
I mean, how do you?
Hold on. All right, so the confederation is made up of sovereign units. All right. Now, Jonathan Shell says in *The Fate of the Earth*, he says there's never peace between things, there's only peace among things. All right, so that as you conceive yourself as being a sovereign nation state, all right, well then nobody tells you what to do inside of that nation. You know, it's an internal affair. Okay, well the United Nations and League of Nations were made up of sovereign units. The United Nations, the League of Nations, wasn't the sovereign unit. It was made up of sovereign units. All right, so it worked on the consensus of these sovereign groups. Now, in a federated state, what you have is the central government, and its job is to uphold the Constitution, which is the legal insurance for the well-being of the citizens. That's their job. They're like that's all they're supposed to be as a company. They're supposed to make sure that we got the best possible society on this planet that we can possibly attain. That's what the Declaration of Independence says. All right, so that we do not have, we need, that's the linchpin here, this idea of sovereignty. All right, right now those are confederated systems. What we need to do is just like the Articles of Confederation in the United States. See, in 1783, when the Revolution was over, the government that was instituted was just like the United Nations. Each state saw themselves as being separate and sovereign from the other states. See, New York charged New Jersey.
We so happy we alive, we together can survive. Stop the bullshit, stop the lies, and now's the time to legalize. Tell me brother, tell me true, what the hell we gonna do? Remember the days we saw purple haze, 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, hey, baby, what you do to me? We so happy, we alive, we together can survive. Mother Nature, heaven sent, don't belong to government. Hey there sister, what's the plan? Do you really understand? Remember the days we saw purple haze, 1 and 1 is 3. Hey, hey, baby, what you do to me? We so happy, we alive, we together can survive. Stop the bullshit, stop the lies, now's the time to legalize. Half the world up in smoke, where on earth can we take a tug? Remember the